Welcome back to Thumbfuckers, where I continue to bitch.
That indeed you do.
I forgot to pull this lever. Anyway, where was I?
This bitcheroni is getting pretty hot.
You're getting like 8 extra servings past what you want. You're being force-fed this bitcheroni.
Oh God, please. No more.
So, to get the Covenant items, which, do I have a Covenant right now? So, I have 2 that actually do something and 1 that is tied to others. This one, there's 2 Covenants in the game that are literally the exact same thing, other than they are a slightly different color of blue. If a person is wearing that, and they get invaded, they get help from either a Blue Sentinel or a Blade of the Dark Moon. If a person is wearing that Covenant thing, and they are lucky enough to get fucking summoned, because that's a whole nother can of worms, that person will be brought in to help protect the host from the invader. They are the police force, basically. But the other 2 that I had, one of them was the Blue Sentinels, which is the lower tier police.
That is bullshit.
Yeah. I can dodge it, I just rolled at the wrong time. The Blue Sentinel is like the lower tier police, the Dark Moon is like the higher tier. They're the exact same Covenant, but whatever. The other one that I had was the Warriors of Sunlight, which are supposed to be a co-op Covenant to help other people out, but in this game they actually introduced it to where you can get your Covenant items by invading. So, it kind of defeats the entire purpose. But like, if I wanted to get the Covenant items I needed for the Warriors of Sunlight, which you need 30 to get to max rank in all the Covenants, if I was not invading, I would have to farm them from specific enemies that actually drop them, and I don't know what the ones in that one are, because I always just do the invading route for that. But you have to farm those drops, which all of the Covenant items are lower drops than any other thing that specific enemy will drop. For example, the Blade of the Dark Moon and Blue Sentinels share a Covenant item that they have to collect called a Proof of a Concord Kept, which is a severed ear. There's 1 or 2 types of enemies in the game that drop those, and it's literally the lowest drop rate of any item in the game.
Is it like a Van Gogh reference?
I don't think so. The Dark Souls 1 description of it was like, you cut off the ear to like brand the person you killed as like, this person is an invader, but they have been dealt with by the Blades of the Dark Moon kind of thing.
Oh, alright.
But with the maximum item find in the game...
Fuck, that's a fast turtle?
Yeah, that's not a turtle, that's a lizard.
It's a turtle.
No, because it has...
So Reptiler? Reptiler?
His
name is Reptiler.
It has 8 legs.
He's a reptile, and he has a shell.
That's a crystal.
Yeah, it's a crystal shell.
But with the maximum item discovery, the drop rate for that Covenant item is 1 in 50.
Makes
and
sense.
The best place to farm that, you kill 2 every 30 seconds. So that's just god-awful, obviously. And the problem with that is, that Covenant is basically broken for some people, and I'm one of those people, actually. To the point where if you're wearing the Blue Sentinels or Blade of the Dark Moon to try and get summoned to help people to get your Covenant items, for some people it just literally doesn't work. Like, you will never be summoned.
Never.
And that means you have to farm, which means you're going to spend literally, because I've done this once before, because I was one of the broken ones when that immediately happened, 1 full week farming for 6 hours a day.
Damn.
Yes. That is how terrible the drop rate is.
That's worse than actual farming.
Yes. And that is needed to get an achievement, to get all of the achievements. Because the max rank item you get out of that Covenant is Dark Moon Blade, which is the strongest faith-based weapon buff. And you need that to get the All Miracles achievement. I have gotten that on one character out of probably the 35 to 40 I've made. And I try and get it on basically all of them, even if I'm not going to be able to use it.
Nice.
But, where was I? Well, I've kind of covered the bullshit with Dark Souls 3 PvP. The other big thing is, poise is basically non-functional. Which, I've somewhat gone over this before with you, but the best example is Dark Souls 1, when it actually was first introduced, because Demon Souls had no poise at all, and, like, if somebody sneezed on you, you flinched. But everybody did that. In Dark Souls 1, poise is a static stat. So if you have, like the basic example is, if you have over 40 poise in Dark Souls 1, you can take 2 swings from a katana and not get staggered out of your animations. You will just sit there and tank the hit.
Nice.
If you have less than that, you'll get staggered after the first one, and if you have below, I think, 20, the first hit will stagger you. So, like, whenever I'm getting hit by the slugs or whatever, how I, like, flinch back, that's what happens. In Dark Souls 2, it's, like, a slightly different system. Like, you have the set poise, but once it's been broken, it has, like, a cooldown. So it takes a little bit before it comes back, and then you have that set poise again. In Dark Souls 3, they actually basically fucked it to where only great class weapons, and I think hammers, actually get poise at all. And they only get it during specific animations. This guy's gonna kill me. Yep.
Whoa.
The swamp makes you fat roll. More than what we already do. Poison also.
Yummy.
But,
The poison just adds more flavor to your meats.
my sweet meats.
Your sweet lumps. Your sweet lumpy meats.
So, like, we got a great axe after we killed that big rock thing.
Oh, sweet.
If I'm holding that in 2 hands, then during my attack animations, I get poise.
Oh, yes. Come for me.
Hopefully he can't follow. He can shoot shit through the wall and be an asshole. Stab? Nope.
What an asshole. That's what my 3-year-old daughter said once.
That's always good.
Well, she kind of overheard me.
Yeah.
Because I was going to pick her up from my mom's when she was babysitting, and
Oh god.
a friend of theirs.
Face fuck.
Whoa.
And now he's more powerful.
Oh, God, he orgasmed at the end.
And he's probably gonna grab me again. Yep.
Oh.
This is why I hate these enemies, because there's not a lot you can do about this.
There's a final thrust that he does.
Yes.
Like
I said, he's literally just face fucking you, and I'm dead. I hate these enemies. They're the fucking worst enemies.
But anyway,
Yes.
one of their friends were there, and I fucking hate that guy, like, so much, because he's a douchebag. And then whenever we got to the car, I was talking to Randy, and I was just like...
What an asshole.
Yeah, well, I was just like... he's an asshole. And she was just like, he's an asshole? And I just turned around, I was like, no! No explaino!
That's your fault. You realize that.
I know.
But, fuck, what was I saying before? Keep getting off topic. Right, poise. So, like, this weapon doesn't have poise. This weapon does. This weapon does. This does, this does, this does. This does not. These do not. If I have straight swords don't. Katanas don't. Curved swords don't. Spears don't. Scythes don't. What the fuck other weapon types are there? Basically, like, half the weapon types in the game never get poise, no matter what. So, even if we were wearing this heavy-ass armor, we have basically 30 poise. If we were using anything other than, like, these weapons here, it doesn't matter at all. It does literally nothing.
Seems
And
legit.
that's kind of the problem with the PvP, because you, like, somebody wearing the biggest, heaviest set in the game that has the most possible poise you can get, if they're not using a weapon that gets active poise frames,
Skew to boot, skew
Yes.
to boot, skew to boot.
that's
skew
how
to boot.
you avoid the fat roll through the swamp. But, like, if I'm using a dagger, like I have right now, against that person wearing the heaviest, highest poise armor in the game, if they're using any weapon that doesn't get poise frames, this dagger will stagger them on every single hit. And the, like, highest poise set of armor in the game, I do believe is Havel's set, and Havel's set is literally the side of a mountain. It's literally slabs of stone.
God damn.
And that tiny ass little dagger just going boop, boop, boop. If he doesn't have a great weapon, doesn't matter. He's going to get staggered every single hit. And
This guy.
yes. I need to get my souls back because I had 16,000. But, like, that's the fucking stupid thing with this game, because on top of the fact that you don't have functional poise, you're pretty much always going to be in a gank situation where you're getting hit by multiple people. Which means you're going to be constantly Oh, am I dead? Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, we do not have HP. But you're always going to be getting staggered, so it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Can I just say that you've literally died like 10 times since we've started recording?
Yeah, this area is like where shit starts getting real, and we do not have the HP to be here right now. But we kind of have to.
Depression.
Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, you're always getting staggered on every single hit, and then even if you have a weapon that has poise, the only way you're going to get it is by trading hits, which means you're still taking damage just to not get staggered. So it's like when 3 or 4 people are beating on you, even if you're using a weapon that gets poise, you're still going to lose because, yeah, you're not getting staggered out of your head, but you're still getting hit by 3 people. We're all doing like 300 to 400 damage. And like the maximum health you can get within like reason, without putting like 99 points into your health, is like 1500. So if you're getting hit by like 4 people doing 300 damage, and they're just mashing away, you're gonna die in like fucking 15 seconds. And there's nothing you can do about it.
You can die.
Yes. The only viable PvP builds in this fucking game are ones designed around doing enough damage to one-shot people. So you have to specifically use certain sets of weapons, certain sets of rings, certain sets of spells, and do very specific moves just to be able to one-shot a person to make sure that you actually win.
I cast 11-7 levels. God damn it.
Yeah.
I cast a level 7 wetness spell on your pussy.
No. I play D&D, and I can tell you for a fact that fucking people who actually do that kind of shit are way more in detail than that.
Aw. I just saw a meme earlier.
Yes, I know, you sent it to me.
Yes, I did.
But, see, another big issue, I forgot, this is one of the ones that I hate the most. A host is allowed to summon in friends using a password, and that gets rid of the level restriction on summoning. Because normally, invading and summoning people, they have to be within, I believe, like 50 levels up and down of your level. So if you're level 50, a level 1 can invade you, or you can invade a level 100 kind of deal. I think it like varies up and down depending on what kind of invasion, but it's that kind of deal. So it gets rid of the level restriction, which means a level 1 can summon a level 838, which is the max level in the game. The thing is that they get scaled down to the host level. Fine. The problem with that is they don't get their equipment removed from them. So I have like weapons and armor that are attainable at this point in the game, naturally. If a host summons in one of their friends, they can give them gear, armor, weapons, rings, and everything that come from the final DLC, which you're not supposed to go into until you've basically beaten the main game. Like, the recommended level to go into that at all is over level 100. And they can give this stuff to a level 1. And all they have to do is get the stats to use it. Like, for strength weapons, if you have half the amount of strength it takes to use it, it like rounds down or something. Or like the strength you have gets cut in half, and that gets added on when you're two-handing. So like we have 21, so it would round down. We have an extra 10 when two-handing, so we're 2 points off from being able to use that while in two hands. So if they have the other stats required and they have half the strength they need to use it, then they can use an endgame item at the very beginning. Which, maybe it doesn't do more damage, but it has more utility, and that's the issue. Because a lot of the endgame boss weapons have like really powerful weapon arts, like the one on the axe that we're using, or the butcher knife. You sharpen it, and it does slightly more damage, and you steal a little bit of HP on every hit. You steal like 6, it's not really worth it. But that's the weapon art for this weapon. One of the weapons that is commonly given to people by their friends is the Twin Prince Greatsword, which when you use its weapon art, one of it shoots out a laser beam that does a good amount of damage, and the other one you swing it up and shoot fire out really far in front of you that staggers the fuck out of people that it hits, and has a really janky hitbox.
Alright, well, thank you for watching.
I'm going to continue on this topic. Can you give me like 30 more seconds?
I don't know how much more bitcheroni I could eat.
Basically, there's a ring you can get at the end of the game that increases your critical damage by like 30% or something. So, if a host is given a really overpowered endgame weapon, they're given that ring, all they have to do is parry you once and you instantly die. And that's just a thing that they can do. They can just have their friend give them all the shit with no repercussions.
Remember at one point you were like, oh, Brand, you love this game, and now you're just like...
I didn't say you didn't love it.
You said that I would love it. You said I'd be like splooging all over this game.
I actively said you would never be able to beat this.
That is also true.
Because you couldn't even get to the fucking first boss.
Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe.
I'll go on to the other games in the next episode.
Yay!
Bye.